Damn, these frames are gigantic. Hold up, I need that change real quick. That's better. Yeet. Alright. Yeah, definitely more my style for sure. What's good, everybody? Welcome back to a brand new video. It has been quite some time where I actually came to you guys with a deck profile, especially LABRYNTH, should I say, right? My latest deck profile was Trap Trick, good deck, everything like that, but you know, I can't stay away from my one and only LABRYNTH. So, the last deck profile that I gave you guys, compared to how it is now, it actually underwent a lot of changes. Definitely a few the impacts is obviously one, the meta game, and two, Ryan used top from the YCS like a little bit of time ago, you know. And with those changes, and especially with my own spice in here as well, I honestly think that this deck is really good. But a couple things, right? First of all, I'm giving you guys my 5th place LABRYNTH deck profile for my recent locals top 8. Really good, honestly, especially having really been playing so consistently. And second of all, after this deck profile, some things are going to change in here for sure, like especially that how some cards underperform in general. It's not just that the card is bad, it's the fact that the card is not entering the right meta. So without further ado, let's just get straight into this deck profile. Copies of Lady LABRYNTH for the Silver Castle. If you don't know what this card does, while you control a set card, your opponent cannot target this card with card effects. Also, this card can be destroyed by your opponent's card effects either. And once per turn, if you or your opponent, yes, you heard me right, if either you or your opponent activates a normal trap card this turn, you're able to special summon this card from your hand into face-up defense position. Don't let people cheat you out of that one, even though I think it's pretty obvious that you can't summon this card in attack position. So also another thing that this card can do, if a normal trap card is activated while this card is on the field, you're able to set a normal trap card with a different name from your deck. So this is not just for you again, this is you or your opponent. So if your opponent activates an imperm for whatever reason, you're able to chain this card and set anything else that's not an imperm from your deck. So honestly, really crazy and one of the best cards in the deck. We were playing one copy of Lovely LABRYNTH of the Silver Castle. This card would be the best card in the deck, but it's just the fact that this card's a brick. It's not like Lady LABRYNTH of the Silver Castle where it's able to special summon itself. It kind of needs the help if you open this card from in your hand to special summon itself. If this card's in your deck, great. If you're able to get it out of your deck straight to the field, great. That's exactly what you want to do. So what Lovely LABRYNTH of the Silver Castle says is that your opponent cannot activate monster effects in response to the activation of your normal trap cards, which is actually really crazy because like a lot of the meta decks nowadays are really dependent on their monster effects on board, or not even just on board, also in their hand as well. Because like say as if you activate a Welcome LABRYNTH card, your opponent cannot activate Ash Blossom, which is really bad for your deck if your opponent activates Ash Blossom. But if this card is on the field, you do not have to worry about that whatsoever. The only thing is that this card is kind of affected by infinite permanence in some way or another, which I really wish it wasn't. Also, if once per turn you're able to target one normal trap card in your graveyard, set it to your field. Really crazy. Literally any normal trap card you can think of that you play in your deck, you can set it directly back. And if another monster were to leave the field because of a normal trap effect, you're able to either destroy one card in your opponent's hand at random or on the field with this card. Really crazy. Just really sad that is somewhat of a brick. Playing double copies of Ariana. Yes, we did cut back on the Ariana. This is not bad at 2. It's actually really good. Especially the fact that if you have Ariana in your hand along with a whole bunch of other normal trap cards, which you hope one of them is some sort of engine, right? If you summon the Ariana and if it gets Imperm, Veiler, Ash, or anything like that, you're kind of at a really bad spot. So you're really just hoping that this card is not exactly the only card in your hand with a whole bunch of like trap cards that are not getting you into engine. So and the 2 Ariana is really good as well. Especially the fact that this card activates on special summon. So special summoning it off of your welcome cards, like your welcome LABRYNTH for your big welcome, can trigger his effect, so that's actually really great right there. Labyrinth. Also, another thing about this card, if a normal trap card were to be responsible for your opponent's monster leaving the field, or not even just your opponent's monster, but any monster were to leave the field because of a normal trap effect, you could draw one card, and you can either do one out of two things. You can special summon a fiend monster from your hand, or you're able to set one spell or trap card, not normal, but any. So, which is really good. So that's gonna be it for the monsters. Labyrinth. Only spell card we play for the Labyrinth archetype. This card is really good. This card, just like the Tearwell mirror match, the field spell makes the difference. In a Labyrinth mirror match, this card makes the difference, especially whoever gets it first as well. Because whenever you have your welcome trap cards, like your welcome Labyrinth or your big welcome Labyrinth, these cards gets the additional effect to destroy a card on board, especially if this is a mirror match as well, and your opponent cannot activate any of their cards that they just set, unless if they have like the coup clock or anything like that. Your opponent is not gonna have a good time, especially that they're able to destroy random cards not random cards, destroy any card on board. Really crazy. And the fact if a non-welcome normal trap card was activated, not just the restriction of them leaving the field, but any normal trap card was activated, you're able to special summon one fiend monster from your hand or grave. So like I said about the lovely, is a break in your hand, but if this card's in your hand, or if the card ends up in your grave because your opponent's outside or whatever like that, you're able to special summon it back. So really good right there. Now for your welcome cards, your regular welcome Labyrinth right over here. This card is really good. Special summons one Labyrinth monster from your deck, so either one of these. But it's the fact that you are under a fiend lock at that point, but you don't really care about that because the fiend lock is only from extra deck and deck. So the only other monsters you play is Lord of the Heavenly Prison, and this card summons from your hand, so you have literally nothing to worry about. And if a monster were to leave the field because of a normal trap card, you're able to set this card back from the graveyard to your field. Big welcome Labyrinth. This card brings the deck all together. Literally, you're able to special summon one Labyrinth monster from your hand, deck, or graveyard. Also, this is another card that will help you get lovely Labyrinth of the Silver Castle summoned from your hand or graveyard to your field. And then after that, you must return one monster you control to the hand. So basically, more than half of the time, summon lovely, summon lady, bounce it back to your hand, quick effect lady to summon itself. It's really good right there. Or if you have like other cards on the board, right? Say as if you have Lord of the Heavenly Prison, right? Bounce this card back, activate the effect to reveal again. Really good right there. And if this card's in your graveyard, you can banish it and then target one fiend monster you control. Or if you control a level 8 fiend monster, which is most likely going to be the lady or the lovely if you have it on board, you're able to target any card on the field and bounce that card back to the hand. So really crazy. I love this card, brings it all together. And especially the fact that I just learned this interaction just recently. Big welcome and lovely Labyrinth. If you have a monster on your board already, which is either lady, Ariana, Lord of the Heavenly Prison, anything like that, this still triggers lovely to destroy a card either from your opponent's hand or on board if this card were to be special summoned from deck, which is absolutely insane. Alright, like I said, for the other monster we're playing in the deck, we're playing double copies of Lord of the Heavenly Prison. This card is really good. This card really helps you get into engine easily. During the main phase, you can activate this effect. You're able to reveal this card in your hand until the opponent's next turn. Well, when a set spell or trap card is activated, you're able to special summon this card to the field. But if this card was revealed when you activated that effect, you're able to special summon this card, then set any spell or trap card from your deck to the field, and banish it during the end phase of the next turn. So whatever you're setting, you're most likely going to be activating it right away, so you have nothing to worry about when it comes to that. So this card helps you get into engine. If you have engine, you're able to set cards like Pot of Prosperity to help you dig into your deck. You can also set copies of Pot of Duality as well, but you know, more than half of the time is gonna be the pot of prosperity, and this card is just a big 3k beater along with the rest of your labyrinth cards except for the Ariana. That they're just like big beaters above 2500 attack, so is able to close out games really quickly. Pot of prosperity, banish three or six, dig into your excavate the same amount of cards and add one of those cards to your hand. Yes, if you're gonna activate this card, like say as if you're in a good position, like just go to battle phase first before activating this card, or else all your damage is halved. And also remember that pot of prosperity actually halves the damage as well, so don't let people cheat you out of that. Pot of duality, yes, this is another card we just put in here. You typically don't summon lady like I would say maybe 50% of the time per se. So if you have no intention of special summoning the lady, you can easily activate the pot of duality to get to dig 3 deeper into your deck, along with either the 3 or 6 that you're gonna be digging off of the pot of prosperity to get whatever cards you need. So I love the dig cards. Helps you put your hand all together. All right, trap cards. We're playing triple copies of skill drain. Obvious. I think this is one of the best like floodgates that we have right now in the meta. Like this card, really good. It shuts down certain decks down, and with Labyrinth, most of the power comes through your back row anyways, so you have no problem activating the skill drain. And yeah, great card in general. Only floodgate we're playing in here as well. No goes in, no rivalry either. Now normal trap cards. We're running triple copies of compulsory evacuation device. Best card in the deck, just like how people play infinite impermanence inside of Ultigeist is basically a staple in the deck. This card just targets one monster in the field, return that target to hand, either you or your opponents. Triple Dogmatic Punishment. I typically do not mind triple Dogmatic Punishment in this deck. Is actually pretty good, should I say. And I don't really brick on the card all that much at multiple copies, and especially the fact that you are never really summoning from your extra deck anyways, so this card is just instant like advantage for sure. Terrors of the Overroot. This card is alright this meta, this time, right? It's not the best card, right? So I think like this card might end up being out of the deck sooner or later, because it's the fact that you have to wait for your opponent to have something in the graveyard before like you activate this card. But more than half of the time, once your opponent like has a good enough board or like gets like proper advantage going, it's a little too late to activate this card for sure. So yeah, it's still a great card though. Like you're able to target one card your opponent controls, and in their graveyard you basically swap the 2 and you set the other one as well. So honestly really good there. Playing double Daruma. A lot of towers monsters are a thing now in this format, and not just towers, but like people are playing sprites, so set their level 2s so they can't special summon just so they can't special summon their level 2s, you know. Yeah, things like that. Playing evenly matched. This card is just absolutely crazy in this deck, especially when you have to go second. This card is, yeah, it just easily breaks boards. Playing double copies of Dimensional Barrier. This card, especially with the diverse format that we have right now, this card shines, especially with even with those diverse decks. Like more than half of the time those decks only stick to one summoning mechanic, or if they have multiple, you already know what summoning mechanic they kind of lean towards more. So yeah, that's a really good thing right there, to just have the D barrier for that. One trap trick: you play multiple copies of all your normal trap cards, including your labyrinth cards as well, so you're easily able to get those cards to your field, and you're able to activate it this turn. But be aware that trap trick only allows you to activate one more trap card for the rest of the turn after this card resolves. So if you have this card, make sure this is the last one you activate, because it doesn't restrict you from like only activating one trap card for the rest of the turn, like after this card resolves. So remember that. And for the last card, we're playing Eradicator Epidemic Virus. We're playing double copies of Ventus, playing double copies of Garua, playing double copies of Bucephalus, playing the 1 Omega, obviously the one card we can't play at multiples, playing double Muckracker, double Wave King, Caesar, double Machinex, and double copies of Zeus. So obviously I do play multiple copies of everything just because Kashtira is a thing with the extra deck ripping. So with the extra deck ripping, right, they see your extra deck, right, and they're just basically saying, yeah, no matter what I do, I just can't get rid of the card that threatens me the most. I am just effed no matter what, right? But this theory might change, as Matt, he's seen him on the channel a couple of times with the tier list videos and everything like that. And now the last deck, the side deck. As you've seen, we are playing triple copies of Ash Blossom. Yes, Ryan Yu did put this into his deck for like his side deck as well, and basically is gonna be the same reason why I'm running it for those matchups where like Ash is like really detrimental to your opponent. It's not all the times, which is the reason why we side deck it, but like branded, like once you see that branded fusion, like you just immediately put this card in, because like a single Ash against like their branded fusion either ends their turn or like really like changes up their line a lot. So you just want to make sure that Ash is in there for that matchup. Especially playing double copies of Droll and Lockbird, there are some decks that searches a lot, but you know, this might be one of those cards that I'm going to be changing. Playing Raiden, this card is insane. Along with the Raiden, we're playing the triple copies of Gamma Seal as well. Kaijus right now are insane. A lot of people pass with just a Rise Heart now, with like other back row, and not just for a Rise Heart, but like those scary monsters that you just want to get rid of without having to deal with, especially when you have like cards like Evelyn in your hand as well. This is just, Kaijus just solve your entire problem. Literally something that came up in testing just this past weekend. Shout outs to you, Sterling. Literally Kaiju'd his Barone, bounced it back with my big Welcome in the Grave, and then I summoned it again under one of his other monsters as well. So you're able to just do that, which is actually really crazy. Another card we're playing, triple copies of Raigeki. This card, I was gonna use Lightning Storms. I mean, not really. I let Gabe borrow it first before thinking about putting it in myself, but Raigekis are still really good as well. And Solemn Judgment. Easy go first card. You want to protect your back row at all costs. And also another thing about the Raigeki that actually helped me out. I played during my locals recently. I played against ninjas, and he went for the ninja transformation that basically makes him summon Dark Samorg, and Raigeki just easily got me out of that situation. Alright, thank you so much for watching my video, and I hope you guys enjoyed, and I hope you look forward to the new upgrades that this deck is going to be seeing in let's say near future, because we do have the regional coming up at the 22nd or the 23rd. I haven't decided all the way to see if I'm going to that. Right now is mostly a yes, but shout outs to my boy Jordan, right? I told him I'm editing our video next, and yes, it's true, I was editing our video next, but you know, school just gets in the way of a lot of things, and that's my first priority right now. So as soon as I can, probably after this video, I will be editing our duels. So if you're watching this, I appreciate you being patient and everything like that. You are a cool guy every time we do, you know? So I hope to see everyone in the next video. Peace.